Welcome everyone back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. Today we are taking into Boss Rush the brand new Android 8er, and Android 8, excuse me, 8er. We're gonna bring him in, and we're taking in the Dragon Ball Saga's team. Hope you guys enjoy. Of course, hit that subscribe if you are new for more content. Do I get the coveted 5 rainbows? Nope, can't. Oh no, they might be able to actually. Come on, stop with the blues. They can't get the 5s. That's unfortunate. We'll see what happens. I was playing with this team earlier, and twice in one event, I got 5 rainbow orbs lined up, and I was like, wow. Imagine if I was recording this. All right, so this is by no means the best Dragon Ball Saga's team. Of course, Kid Goku also is a dual category leader for the youth category. You can also include a lot of different characters, including but not limited to like characters like LR, SS2 Gohan, and more other characters, right? But I wanted to use this team, and there are, of course, other Dragon Ball Saga's characters like the Tech Roshi. There was no real rhyme or reason. I just wanted to use these characters. and I was like, I want to show these characters off. I want to give these characters some spotlight. If you were not familiar with the characters in particular, you can go ahead and I'll leave the link down below. You guys can read up on each one of these characters you want to see. But Android 8 is a new character. He is from the Dragon Ball Saga's World Tournament banner. He is live now in the game. His super attack lowers the enemy's defense while doing supreme damage. He raises attack by 100%. Whenever he gets hit for 3 turns. So that's really good. Also, when he's with the Goku's family category ally, he gets 80% attack and defense. So he can be on the Android's team, but he's considerably worse there. He doesn't get any defense. He still lowers attack and defense, but doesn't get any defense. He doesn't get that whopping 80% additional attack, which is nuts. And by the way, that gets calculated separately. We talk about that a lot here on this channel because there's a lot of characters like that. It gets calculated separately, resulting in a total of 260% attack when both conditions are met according to the wiki. This unit is absolutely nuts. He is really good. So, yeah, I just wanted to, again, use some of these characters. And let's go ahead and proceed. We're going to go for our first setup here. But, yeah. Let me get those greens, and then I'll kind of talk about what I was talking about. So, for today's question today, which Dragon Ball character, specific to Dragon Ball, the base series, do you enjoy the most, and why? And if you're somebody that hasn't seen or read, for that matter, the base series, Dragon Ball, just Dragon Ball, it starts off kind of slow, but after watching it and reading it, like, that's probably been about 7 or 8 times through per each, like 7, 8 times reading it over my lifespan and watching it too. It actually is my favorite part of the series. It's not super realistic, but it is a lot more realistic towards the beginning of the series anyway, before we start getting into energy beams. And it's a lot more realistic in relation to the later parts of the series in Z and GT and Super and stuff like that. And I really like the martial arts focus that they had back then versus just throwing random punches. Not to say that the later parts don't have that, but I really enjoyed, again, the realistic feel of it back then. And I'm a huge fan of that part of it. So for me personally, I actually really don't dislike any character too much, except for maybe some of the side characters, like Ranfine. You know, she can get it though. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have any like screen time really. Like, she's in that tournament, doesn't really do much. You don't really get invested in the characters. Same for all the other characters like King Choppa, whoever else, man. But I will say, for me, some of the characters I do enjoy more so than others that had, like, in that part of the series, Tien and Yamcha and all these guys, they weren't useless. Not to say they were particularly useless later on, but they were driving forces at that point. You know, they were really some of the strongest guys around, and they still kind of are if you relate them to the rest of the Earth anyway. But narratively, they don't use those characters too much in the later parts of the series. And back then, they were awesome, and I really loved Tien and Chiaotzu's initial showing as like kind of antagonists and stuff like that. I really liked those characters back then. Yamcha was cool. I liked his whole shtick with girls and how he ultimately later on in the series overcame that weakness, basically, right? So there's a number of characters I do enjoy from the base series, but I will say, I think characters like Launch, who's cool conceptually, but later gets forgotten basically by the series, is one of the characters I enjoy a lot. Like, you don't see her too much after Dragon Ball at all. So Launch is one of them, and Roshi, like, Roshi's always a good time, man. He's always awesome. And of course, Krillin. I can't leave out Krillin. I love my boy Krillin. But anyway, I love Krillin and Goku's dichotomy, man. Like, their rivalry. I love all of that. You know, earlier on when Krillin shows up, how he's just a cocky dude, and he's always like talking mad trash to Goku. I love Krillin, man. But anyways, like, Launch and Roshi's always a good time. I really enjoy his humor in the series as well. So I'm a huge fan, man. Like, and if you're not a fan, that's fine. It's not it's not for everybody. And also, like I was saying, like it might be something that you need to give a chance to even grow on you. Like maybe you haven't seen it, or maybe you're just not interested, or maybe you tried to watch it and you couldn't get along with it because it was a little slow and you didn't like the first few episodes or first handful or dozen episodes or whatever. But it gets really good as it proceeds, in my opinion anyway. Or if you want to read it, it goes a little quicker, right? Anyways, back to this. Make sure you do let me know. That was a little insight into my fandom. I don't really delve into that too often, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Android 8 knocking it out of the park. Wait, that's not baseball, Yamcha. Anyways, we get a crit, we get a KO shot on the future Gohan. We move on to the next round. I have been mainly keeping the LRs together because they link so freaking well. These cards, the Dragon Ball Sagas cards, link so well, in large part because, for one, they have those Dragon Ball-centric links. You know, the Incredible Adventure, the Guidance to the Dragon Balls. One of those links is a 20% attack link, which is nuts, man. That's absolutely nuts. So, like, the Dragon Ball characters back in the day, and it still obviously does consist of a lot of, like, SRs, and 90% of the characters from Dragon Ball are all on that stupid World Tournament banner that I've always hated. But to be fair, it seems like it's easier now to pull stuff. For me, I always struggle to pull stuff on that banner, so I absolutely hated it. But like 90% of the characters are centric there, and then sometimes you have like a random like Chi-Chi or something that's in Dragon Ball, but like, you know what I'm saying. So since that's the case, that link needed to be as powerful as it is to even be relevant, right? And the ones that have that and have like Fierce Battle, you're all of a sudden sharing a ton of attack. Like the Goku and the King Piccolo, like stuff like that. You are sharing a ton of attack in those scenarios where you have access to basically like 35% attack and a natural 2-key. Like the 2-key is awesome because characters that don't have like prepare for battle, like this Goku, who he has self-sufficiency, so it kind of makes up for it. But like this type of rotation wouldn't naturally link well for any other setup. Like you can't take a Piccolo and link him super, super well with a Goku for like 35% attack in most cases anyway. You could take like the Piccolos that have First Awaken. You could be fine, right? But there's not very many specific scenarios where stuff like that works too much. So I really enjoy this team because of the cohesion, the synergy that they do have on just the units in general. Like every character for the most part has these links. On a side note, I say for the most part because one of the units that would benefit almost the most from having that 20% attack link doesn't have it, and that is Master Roshi, the one I did not include in this team, the new tech one. He actually, the one that's nuts, that does Mafu, does an insane amount of damage. He's not here, but he doesn't even have that 20% attack link, funnily enough. They literally decided, oh yeah, we're not going to give him that guidance of the Dragon Balls like every other card. I feel like at least 99% of the cards that have the Dragon Ball Sagas category have that link for that matter. They decided they weren't going to, probably because he gets so much attack anyway. That card is absolutely nuts for the one attack he gets. So yeah, long story short, man, like this is awesome synergy. I would let Ader stay in the front spot so he can take a hit, but I'm not going to. But I will put Yamcha in the front, just so we can get these. Yamcha's cool, man. Yamcha's cool on this setup anyway. We can get that. That's good key. One shy of an Ultra, in fact, because I was actually going to net us the Ultra, but that's not a big deal. Even if this setup doesn't beat the Goku, we're still fine, of course, for the most part. All right, Yamcha coming through the MVP. All right, look at that Puar, man. And the stuff like this, Yamcha was really cool back here. Oh, Yamcha versus Kid Goku, that's actually canon. Not GT Kid Goku, but it's canon. It happened. Yamcha out here reliving his glory days. All right, let's move on here. We're up against all these guys. I'm going to try to get a Dokkan attack. I wish King Piccolo hit multiple enemies. That would be nice, man. King Piccolo, see, like, King Piccolo doesn't even want to link with Kami. It doesn't matter. By the way, on a side note, you can run the SSR version of this King Piccolo because he Dokkan Awakens into a youthful version. He starts off as the old version, so they have different names. So, like, that is something you can do. Let me go for that. And we also will get the Dokkan attack. I don't know if we'll get the active skill because you need to dip below 59% HP. Which I'll try to do, but I don't know if it's going to happen too much. There's a 44k super. I mean, that's a good start. Would have been nice if it was the AGL unit, but... All right, we get all of them. Unfortunately, the AGL unit didn't even attack there. Maju, why didn't you super, bruh? Why didn't you super? Attack set's 1.8. Okay. That's pretty solid, man. For a unit that's not a festival exclusive, just kind of chilling, that's really solid. Do we crit? Because that's a one-shot. Yeah, it's a one-shot on everybody. Yep. That's pretty fitting with that animation, man. I love his close-up on the animation before he shoots that explosive wave anyway. That's a really cool attack. All right. So Kid Goku. Oh, hey, this is the SS4 Goku active skill music. Subai, coming on me. Ah! Cringe Free has made an appearance in the chat, everybody. We're going to go for those. I'm going to let Goku stay. Actually, you know what? I want to get the active skill. If I can get a good amount of damage there on Goku Narale, we can get the active skill, which I want. Did I mention I want the active skill? All right, we get the greens. Did I mention I want the active skill? Ooh, 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 ooh. That's going to do a lot of damage. Holy crap. That's going to do like 300K. Oh, my goodness. Okay, okay. I guess I'm playing the Goku event a little too much. The legendary Goku event. Oh, my God, stop! Don't beat me! This should raise the defense if I recall. Please don't! I just want the active skill. I'm just trying to live my life, bro. Oh, doubles is nice. Don't beat me, bro. Oh, man. All right, we live. The defense raise really helped. It's a great raise. If it wasn't, it probably wouldn't have helped as much. It would have helped, but it wouldn't have made that big of a difference. We were taking, like, you know what it is? Goku also lowered our defense before that anyway. His attack lowers our defense by a big margin. So that actually made a really big deal. Kid Goku's going to show up next round and have active skill. So let me go ahead and tell you guys a little bit of what Kid Goku does. So if you're not familiar with Kid Goku, there's something that's actually incorrect in the card. So let me explain this. The passive, he gets 77% attack and defense at the start of the turn. He raises attack by up to 59%. The more HP remaining, the greater the attack boost. And he also raises defense by up to 59%. The less HP remaining, the greater the defense boost. So in this scenario, he will get a lot of defense. But that's perfectly fine because he gets 10% attack and defense at the start of each turn and one key, maxing out at 59%. So he's been here a few times. He's been able to stack that a bit. Also, he performs a critical hit when HP is 59% or below, once only. That is a lie. It is not once only. When I do this active skill, it will crit. And if he doesn't KO, he will do however many attacks. He'll do his regular, he'll do an additional, whatever. And each one will be a critical hit. Basically, he gets built-in crits for the entire turn when he can do that. But actually, you know what? It's not a lie because it's just a wording thing. If you look at the wording on this, once only, kind of like it says performs a critical hit when HP is 59% or below once only. It doesn't say once only you'll get a crit. It's saying once only when HP is 59% or below. This is why it's confusing, actually. So it's not a lie in particular, but if you were confused by that, like I was confused, actually, it's basically saying when you're below, you only get that one time. So if you dip below 59 again, you are not going to be able to get that again. Also, on a side note, if you heal, because his active skill is only active when below 59%, once only, right? It means he gets it one time. If you heal when you're below, it'll go away. You won't have access to it anymore. If I recall correctly. I'm not going to test it, but I'm pretty sure that's how that one works. So we're going to actually put you in the front. And we get that Fierce Battle, because Fierce Battle actually does matter. The links do matter for active skills. So we're going to go for the active right now. Let's see how much this does. It's going to crit. Hopefully it doesn't do too much. I wanted to at least do a super attack. All good, all good, all good. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that subscribe if you were new, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one. And make sure that you answer today's question of the day. And today's video, Lyco, didn't really mention one. Leave it up to you guys. If you support the videos, you'll leave one. If not, I mean, you could still support regardless. But thank you all. And I'll see all of you in the next one.